cautionary shadow lingers from a deadly West Seattle slide in 1921. While it happened 102 years ago, this is a cautionary tale for the ages. My mother grew up not far from what she and others called Fairmont Gulch, the steep-sided canyon whose narrow and secluded road slices its lush woods, connecting West Seattle's bluff-top Hiawatha Park with Harbor Avenue and the Elliott Bay shore far below. Gulch may imply foreboding territory, and that impression could have originated in part from a lethal stroke of nature about a year before my mom was born. On Sunday, December 11th, 1921, what the Seattle Star immediately called the greatest rainstorm ever recorded in Seattle wreaked regional havoc, nowhere more dramatically than in the Gulch. Riding the Route No. 1 Alki streetcar, Northern Pacific brakeman Samuel C. Andrews was headed to his home partway up the Gulch at 1910 Fairmont Avenue. Before leaving work at 6:15 p.m., he had telephoned his wife Mary, who said she was cooking hot biscuits for supper and urged him to hurry home. Shortly after 6:30 p.m., as Andrews stepped off at nearby Novelty Flour Mill, today's Salty's on Alki restaurant, the hillside to his west shattered him. The Andrews rental home and retaining wall had just been crushed by a maelstrom of mud falling from land next to view homes 120 feet above on dead-end Brook Avenue. Their house, in turn, had smashed a neighbor's home, wrecking both structures. Killed were Mary Andrews and her stepsons John, 7, and Tom, 5. The unrelenting storm triggered a second slide at 9:30 the next morning, injuring and temporarily burying 9 city rescuers and 2 journalists. A third slide at 1:30 p.m. brought down another house. Rains receded, but harrowing memories lingered. Nathan May, a Stanford Law School student, grew up along Fairmont Avenue, which he labels a special corner of the city. He takes personally what he calls the profound human tragedy at the center of the slides, and he seeks opportunities to make those who walk or drive Fairmont aware of what happened here. The legal scholar also sees a deeper, darker context. We have this enormous privilege of living in a region of unparalleled natural beauty, he says, but there is a flip side, which is that some of the factors that lead to that beauty, the hilliness, the precipitation, the unique weather factors, can also lead to tragedies like the one in 1921. It seems important that we pay heed to that risk and to the very real possibility that we'll continue to see things like this in the years ahead. Of course, in 1921, no one had heard of climate change. In our first then photo, crushed houses merge December 11, 1921, at the foot of Fairmont Avenue Southwest, informally known as Fairmont Gulch, the site of devastating mudslides that killed 3 and temporarily buried others. In this west-facing view, houses remain above on dead-end Brook Avenue. In our second then photo, the Seattle Times front page of December 12, 1921, reflects the devastating regional effects of torrential rain that morning and the previous day. Today, Stanford Law student Nathan May stands sternly at the same location of the crushed houses. Much of the surrounding land is city-owned. Fairmont Avenue Southwest runs uphill to the left. Also today, the downtown skyline rises above this hilltop view from tiny dead-end Brook Avenue Southwest, looking east from the spot where the slides began 102 years ago. The foreground building along beachside Harbor Avenue is Salty's on Alki restaurant.
About to start my 3rd and final year of law school. And then, off to practice. Unfortunately not in Seattle. I'm going